Allison, welcome to the committee, and go ahead and proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Alison Conca-Cheng. I'm a 17-year-old high school senior at Centennial High in Ellicott City. I'm an honors student, editor of my school newspaper, and an active volunteer in my community. I also love reading and hanging out with my friends. I would say I'm a pretty typical teenager. I've been playing soccer my whole life, almost as soon as I could walk. This year was going to be my 4th year as a high school soccer player. Until recently, I was hoping to play Division III soccer in college. I was really looking forward to my senior season. But circumstances changed when I suffered a concussion on Friday, August the 20th. Practice was almost over, and I was playing central midfield on an 11 versus 11 scrimmage. I jumped up to head an approaching corner kick with the right side of my head. I don't remember anything that followed. I was told later that my friend and teammate, Lauren, had also gone up for the ball, and we had collided. Judging from the bruise I found later up and down the right side of my thigh, I assume I landed on that side of my body and that I hit the ground hard. The next thing I remember is sitting up unsteadily to see my teammates huddling concernedly around me. My vision had gone very blurry, and I had severe tunnel vision for several seconds. Everything was black around the edges. I was helped off the field, and soon my vision cleared a bit. I sat out the rest of practice that day. Immediately after the concussion, and for the rest of the day, I discovered that I was having severe balance problems. Even with the slightest nudge, it was a struggle not to fall down. I also had a lingering headache, as well as fairly constant dizziness. Later that day, my boyfriend said I seemed fairly dazed and confused, and I noticed that my mind often drifted from the conversation or situation. I just felt very out of it. It's hard to explain if you've never experienced it before. I arrived at the school the next morning for my scrimmage and was given some preliminary tests by my school's athletic trainer. I was told I had to see a doctor and either be diagnosed with a concussion or cleared. After a week of confusion with paperwork and forms, I was seen by my family doctor, who cleared me to play. Meanwhile, school had started and I was anxious to play. I thought I had fully recovered. The only thing standing in my way of the playing field was a computerized test. Before the start of the season, all athletes at my school are required to take a baseline concussion test. It is a half-hour test that evaluates basic cognitive functioning by measuring memory and reaction time. Remember the word, click when you see the green light, so on. About 2 weeks after I suffered the concussion, I took the test to see if I was functioning normally. I could tell that I didn't do very well, and I wasn't surprised when I was called back to the trainer to take the test a second time. Again, I knew I had done poorly. I just couldn't remember the words they were asking, or the patterns and the numbers. My trainer told me my test results were, quote, inconsistent, with some test results significantly below my baseline data. Around this time, I also started to notice other symptoms. The headaches lingered, and I began to forget things, not just day to day, but morning to evening, or even moment to moment. My sleeping patterns changed. I slept more, feeling constantly tired, yet I had trouble falling asleep, a problem I had never had in the past. School became more difficult once we started to delve into more complicated subjects. About 45 minutes into my hour-long class periods, my concentration would be completely gone, and I would develop a splitting headache. This has been a problem for me as I'm taking 5 advanced placement classes this year. Reading textbooks and articles for homework was particularly difficult. It would take me twice as long, and it would be a constant battle with my concentration. Because of my inconsistent test results and reappearing symptoms, I was sent to Dr. Joya. He ran several more tests on me, and my results were still subpar. After a full examination, he explained that I was still actively in the recovery stage, and that my headaches and concentration troubles were indications that I was overtaxing my brain. I was going to have to pay special attention, and any time a headache came on or my attention flagged substantially, I had to take a break and cool off. Homework would have to be limited to 30 minutes at a time with 10-minute breaks. Dr. Joya wrote up a care plan for me that I brought into school. The school and my teachers have been extremely understanding and accommodating. Whenever I need to cool off my brain, I can go to the nurse's office, and I've gotten extensions on reading assignments. These adjustments have helped, but with the added time it takes to do my homework and mandated breaks, schoolwork now dominates my evenings and weekends. I'm glad to say that I'm feeling better and making progress. I appreciate the support I've received from my family, friends, and the best high school in America, Centennial. I'm grateful that my school had a system in place to identify the severity of my injury and point me towards the medical care I've required. I'm glad the committee is focusing attention on the issue. I have seen how it has impacted my life, and I worry about the student athletes who don't get properly diagnosed and fall through the cracks. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much.